our message is anti-violence, and I think that a lot of Indigenous people are pro-pipeline, but I think that there's not room for us to have our voice here because a lot of racism has come from these type of protests, and they haven't made space for Indigenous people at all. They have an assumption that we are all anti-pipeline when some of us are pro-pipeline, but we are all anti-violence, and I would really think that Canadians would get behind that message, as well as being inside of an inquiry about Indigenous people. These are our problems that we're trying to discuss today. You can't talk about reconciliation and be violent against Indigenous people.
We are respecting and standing up for the Unistoten and Wet'suwet'en people and the camp, the Unistoten camp up there, and just standing with those people in the north, the Indigenous nations in the north, because we respect them, and as they're being disrespected is in direct correlation with us as well. And as nations, we know when to stand for each other, we know when to protect each other, and to live in unity and to live in coexistence. And right now, there is a fluctuation at that right now, where the federal government is not wanting to live in coexistence with us, as we're seeing up north. And we're standing here today in showing, as Blackfoot people, as Dene people, Stoney Dakota people, and all other nations that are represented here in Treaty 7, that we stand with those nations up there.
Enough raping of our lands and our water! Water is life! Water is life!
Everywhere people are just upset. You know, upset that they can go in. It was like a gang rape of RCMP and Trans-Canada going in there. And you know, when these hereditary chiefs have title, and the Supreme Court of Canada said they have title of this land, you know, there's been enough water contaminated in Canada, you know, and they're not willing to fix it because of industry, you know, that just bulldoze onto our land and, you know, put in these provincial injunctions.
I think we see some people that are maybe misguided. Media does that, social media tends to do that, and you know, some of our people have been hijacked, you know, by certain influences from the United States, and that just, we have environmental issues, absolutely, but in the same sense, so a lot of our communities have come to terms with oil and gas and pipelines, and if people are more educated and kind of understand the issues with pipelines and the safeties in them, then, you know, they would appreciate it. But more, you know, the big thing for me is that we got to be able to support our communities that said yes to this, because it's their community that needs that benefit, the financial benefit.
Build that pipe! Build that pipe! Build that pipe! Build that pipe!
Our voice needs to be heard. We're all too busy working out here in favor of pipelines. We're too busy at our offices, and we're not going to give this small minority the voice anymore. We've had it. We had given them the right to challenge decisions in courts, and they're all in favor to use the courts when it works in their favor. When the courts go against them, they immediately come out here and say they've been treated unfairly, and that's wrong. The rule of law should stand in this country, and enough is enough. This is clean Canadian energy. It's the most reliable energy in the world and the cleanest environmental footprint out of any energy in the world. And these people here want to protest against it? Where's the logic? They all drove here today. Guaranteed, they all drove here. They're all wearing Gore-Tex clothing. They're all wearing plastics. They all have cell phones in their pocket. Manufacturing needs oil. We're here to support that.